Jesus wasn't broke, and I can prove it. Most people think Jesus was poor, but why is that? Probably because of what he said in Matthew 8:20. He said, "Foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." Now that sounds like something a homeless man would say, but that's not what he meant. Jesus wasn't saying that he was broke. He was saying that he was on a mission which kept him on the move. Because he was constantly traveling and teaching and preaching and healing, he didn't have a permanent residence. But that doesn't mean he was poor. He had plenty of provision, and I'm going to prove it to you. Here's how I know. Number one, Jesus had a treasurer. John 12:6 says Judas was in charge of the money bag. Now let's be real. If you're broke, you don't need a treasurer. And Judas was skimming off the top. That means Jesus and the disciples had enough money in that bag for someone to steal from it, and nobody even noticed it. So no, Jesus was not poor. Number two, Jesus had financial backers. Jesus had people sowing into his ministry, just like churches, just like nonprofits today. Luke 8:2-3 tells us about some of them, and one of them was Joanna. She wasn't just anybody. Her husband ran the king's business affairs. So Joanna was likely very affluent, and she used her wealth to help fund Jesus's ministry. So let's kill this idea that only broke folks were following Jesus. He had some high-capacity donors behind him, too. Number three, this one is pretty interesting. Jesus wore a designer robe. Now let's talk about this robe. When Jesus was crucified, in John 19, verses 23 and 24, it says that the Roman soldiers gambled for his robe. Why? Because it was seamless, woven from top to bottom. Now, that was the ancient equivalent of luxury fashion. Now, I'm not saying that Jesus would have rocked Gucci or Versace today, but I am saying that what he wore was high quality, and poor folks didn't wear garments like that. So Jesus wasn't poor and he wasn't broke. He had access to whatever he needed and whenever he needed it. So because Jesus walked in his purpose, provision followed. And the same thing can happen to you.
Now, the most important message here, walking in your purpose naturally brings provision. Now, on his own submission on this particular issue, of course, this ongoing debate about Jesus Christ, was he poor, was he rich, for some time now, those that have argued that Jesus was actually very rich, very wealthy. Some have said Jesus was a poor man, he came from a poor background. Now, his own perspective here says, as long as Jesus was doing that, which was his purpose, provisions came. There were people that were, pioneering that ministry, practically running that ministry, as long as it was his purpose. I'm emphasizing on this because that's the most important message. That purpose, right? As long as he was on that, which was the purpose, provisions will come naturally. So maybe you're out there and doing something and provisions are not coming. Just maybe you have not discovered your purpose yet. But what do you guys think? Drop your perspective, drop your comments in the comment section.